Chosen one. You have carried this strange weight in your chest for years like a nameless secret. This is not a curse, nor is it a sign of a weak soul collapsing under family pressure. This is the containment of a divine blueprint. The truth is, you are being cured in the dark to become a load-bearing structure, preventing the entire system around you from collapsing before it is ready to transform. You have often wondered why you were the one who noticed the subtle shifts in the atmosphere of your home, while everyone else seemed to move with a strange, comfortable blindness. You saw the inconsistencies in your sister's smile, the way her words didn't quite match the frequency of her spirit, and the small hidden action she took when she thought no one was watching. This was not a burden given to you to make you a victim. It was a military-grade training in discernment. The architect does not place high-value data into a structure that has not been tested for pressure. For years, your life has looked like a series of delays and silences, a stretch of time where nothing dramatic happened on the outside, but everything was being reinforced within. You were like a building where the foundation is being poured deep into the cold earth, unseen and uncelebrated by the passers-by. In that silence, you learned how to handle the weight of what others could not face. You handled the secrets of your bloodline, not because you were a spy, but because your internal structure was being rated for the gravity of the truth. When you saw your sister making choices in the dark, choices that misaligned with the integrity of the family, you felt a physical resistance in your soul. That resistance was not anxiety. It was your blueprint responding to a structural flaw. Think of a high-rise building that must stand firm against hurricane winds. Before the steel and glass can ever reach for the sky, the load-bearing walls must be cured in a specific heavy stillness. If the concrete is disturbed too early, it will fracture under the weight of the future. This is why you were kept in a state of containment. You were being prepared to hold a reality that would crush anyone else in your circle. Your sister's secret actions were merely the test weights used by heaven to see if your integrity would buckle under the pressure of knowing what is real while living in a room full of illusions. You might have looked at your sister's life and felt a strange, quiet envy at her ability to move through the world without this heavy awareness. She seemed to get away with the shadows while you were held to a standard of precision that felt exhausting. But you must understand that the architect does not require the same density from every wall. Some walls are merely decorative, meant to be seen and admired but never relied upon. Others are load-bearing. You are the wall that prevents the roof from caving in when the storm arrives. Your past was not a period of being forgotten. It was a period of being forged into a pillar that cannot be moved by the tremors of another person's misalignment. Every time you chose to stay silent, instead of reacting out of a wounded ego, you were reinforcing your internal foundation. Every night you spent wondering why you had to see so much and feel so deep was a deposit into the account of your spiritual capacity. The architect was not ignoring your cries for relief. He was monitoring the curing process of your character. You were learning how to hold the secret without letting the secret hold you. This is the difference between a person who is destroyed by a family secret and a person who becomes the sanctuary where the truth can finally land. Your history is a strategic blueprint written in the language of endurance, designed to ensure that when the veil finally lifts, you are the only one left standing with a clear line of sight. Anointed one, do not misread the silence of your early years as stagnation. In the world of high-stakes architecture, the most important work happens underground, away from the applause and the cameras. You were being taught how to maintain your axis, while the people closest to you were drifting into the fog. You were learning the physics of placement, knowing exactly where you stand, so that when others lose their way, they have a point of reference. Your sister's secret actions were never about her. They were about the development of your eyes. You were being trained to see through the performance, to filter the signal from the noise, and to stay regulated in the presence of deception. This past was a military necessity. If you had been given the full revelation of what was happening behind the scenes too early, your structure would have fractured. You needed time to grow into the weight. You needed to experience the isolation of being the only one who knew, so that you would not depend on the validation of the blind. The architect kept you contained so that your perception would not shatter the very home you were meant to eventually stabilize. Now, as you look back, you can begin to see that nothing was wasted. The loneliness was the curing agent. The misunderstanding from your family was the pressure test. And the hidden nature of your sister's life was the classroom where you learned the art of quiet observation. As we move from the dark earth of your foundation into the light of your current reality, realize that the structure is now ready. The curing process is complete. The walls are up, and the blueprint is no longer a hidden document. It is becoming a lived reality. You are no longer bracing for the weight of the past. You are the one who determines how that weight is distributed in the present. The silence has served its purpose, and the strength you built in the shadows is about to be tested by the light of a new kind of awareness, one that requires even more precision than before. Chosen one, the foundation we discussed is now set, but as the power to your internal structure finally comes online, you are encountering the first symptom of a functional system, the fatigue of awareness. You have moved from the silent struggle of the past into a present that feels heavier, even though you might be doing less. This is not a sign of failure or a descent into depression. It is the cost of precision. The architect has refined your internal senses, and for the first time, you are seeing the reality of your environment without the blurring filters of denial or hope. You are sitting at the same tables, engaging in the same family rituals, yet everything feels fundamentally different. You see your sister moving with an ease that once felt familiar, yet now you detect a frequency of misalignment that vibrates through the shared space like a low-frequency hum. This exhaustion you carry is not physical. It is the cognitive and spiritual load of calibration. Imagine a high-definition screen that suddenly displays every flaw, every grain of dust, and every digital artifact that a standard screen would simply smooth over. You are that screen. Your internal structure has been upgraded to a level of sensitivity that no longer allows you to ignore the structural leaks around you. When you look at your sister now, you aren't just seeing a sibling, you are seeing a case study in inconsistent frequencies. You notice the way her eyes shift when she mentions certain names, the way her phone is always tilted at a precise angle away from your sight, and the subtle, sharp defensiveness that arises over mundane questions. You are not spying on her. You are simply incapable of not seeing. The fatigue of awareness occurs because you are the only one in the room reading the actual data while everyone else is focused on the performance. Your sister is performing normalcy and your family may be performing harmony, but you are calibrated to the truth. This creates a constant internal friction. It takes immense energy to stay regulated when your senses are screaming that the person sitting across from you is hiding a structural collapse. You are experiencing the strain of seeing a weight given only to those whose internal structure is rated to hold the truth without breaking. The architect has adjusted your dial to a frequency of truth, and because your sister's secret actions are currently operating on a frequency of deception, the dissonance is physically draining. Anointed. 1. Understand that your sister's secret actions, the hidden transactions, the double talk, the quiet betrayals of trust, are not just personal failures. In the architectural sense of your life, they are structural leaks. You are seeing them now because you have been appointed as the filter for your lineage. For generations, people in your bloodline may have looked away from the shadows, preferring the comfort of a lie to the weight of a transition. But you cannot look away. The calibration process has removed your ability to pretend. This is why you feel so out of place in your own home. You have been upgraded while the environment remains the same. You are like a sophisticated piece of software running on an outdated hardware system. The heat generated by that processing is what you feel as fatigue. God, as the architect, is not showing you these hidden things to incite a reaction. Reaction is a leak of power. Instead, he is giving you subtle insight so that you can begin the process of filtering the noise from the signal. The urgent warning is not a call to a dramatic confrontation that shatters the house. It is a call to a private awareness that protects your own energy. You see what your sister is doing in secret because you can no longer be a victim of what you cannot see. The secret is only powerful as long as it is a blind spot. Once it is observed, it becomes a data point. The architect is teaching you how to hold that data without letting it distort your own axis. This season is characterized by a quiet disruption. You might find yourself being less talkative, more selective with your time, and strangely resistant to social invitations that once felt mandatory. This is your system automatically protecting its precision. You are learning to distinguish between what is solid and what is void. Your sister's secrets are a void. They have no structural integrity. If you attempt to lean on her or trust her with your own blueprint, you will fall not because she is evil, but because she is currently unstable. The warning you feel in your spirit is a notification of that instability. Anointed One, do not fight the tiredness. Accept it as the physical evidence of your spiritual upgrade. You are being taught the value of your own observation. You are learning that your gut feeling is actually a highly tuned sensor array detecting misalignment before it manifests as a crisis. The fatigue will pass once you learn how to observe without absorbing. Right now, you are still absorbing the shock of what you see. You are still grieving the version of your sister that you thought was real. But the architect is moving you toward a state of precision where you can look at the flaw and the person simultaneously without losing your own balance. As we stand in the present, realize that the secret is no longer secret to you. The veil has already been pulled back. You are now in the process of deciding how to stand in a room where the truth is visible to you alone. This is the lonely work of the pillar. You are not meant to be one of them anymore. You are meant to be the one who sees. The fatigue is simply the weight of the crown of awareness, a crown that requires you to stay awake while others sleep in the comfort of their shadows. Chosen One. The veil is no longer a barrier. It is now a lens. You are standing in the center of a shared life, yet you are inhabiting a different dimension of clarity. This is the stage of misalignment. When we speak of misalignment, we are not discussing moral failings or the drama of betrayal in the way the world does. We are discussing the physics of a structure. You are observing your sister's secret actions, the whispers, the hidden transactions, the calculated silences, and for the first time, you are not looking through the eyes of a wounded sibling. You're looking through the eyes of a building inspector. You see the urgent warning from the architect, not as a call to arms, but as a diagnostic report. The leaks in her integrity are no longer your responsibility to patch. They are data points that explain the instability of the house. In this state of divine alignment, your primary task is to maintain your own vertical axis while the world around you tilts. Your sister's secret actions represent a void in the floor plan. Every time she chooses a shadow over the light, she removes a support beam from her own internal structure. You feel this as a tremor in your spirit because you are connected to the same lineage, but you are no longer obligated to stabilize her collapse with your own substance. Subtle insight allows you to see the crack without falling into it. It is the ability to recognize that when her phone is tilted away or her stories don't align with the clock, it is a sign of a system that can no longer hold pressure. You see the secret because your frequency of truth makes anything less feel like a physical obstruction. This is where precision becomes your greatest tool. Precision is the ability to name a thing accurately without adding the heat of emotional projection. When you see her deception, the old version of you would have felt the heat of anger. But the Anointed One moves with a different authority. You see the lie, and you simply label it misalignment. This lack of emotional heat is what keeps your structure from melting. The architect is showing you these hidden things to prove your discernment is not a hallucination. You spent years doubting your gut, wondering if you were too sensitive. The exposure of her secrets is the architect's way of validating your senses. It is a confirmation that your internal calibration is accurate. You are not crazy, you are simply aware. The urgent warning you feel is a prompt for stance. It is heaven telling you to stop leaning on a wall that is currently failing. If you continue to trust your sister with your blueprints, your dreams, your plans, your vulnerabilities, while she is operating in the dark, you are participating in your own destabilization. Misalignment in one part of the structure affects the whole, if not isolated. This is why you feel a sudden need for boundaries. It is not about cutting her off in a spirit of malice. It is about zoning the structure. You are creating a clean room within your own soul where her shadows cannot enter. This is being in the world, but not of it. You are in the family, but your peace is not manufactured by their performance. Consider the energy it takes to maintain a secret. Your sister is currently burning massive amounts of spiritual capital to keep the void from being seen. This is why she is defensive. She is defending a crumbling wall. When you look at her now, let your subtle insight lead you to a place of sober compassion rather than judgment. Judgment is a heavy energy that binds you to the person. Precision, however, sets you free. You can see the crack, acknowledge the danger, and choose where to stand so that when the wall falls, you are not caught under the debris. This is the urgent warning: protect your placement. The architect is not asking you to save her. He is asking you to stay standing so that a stable pillar remains. You might notice your presence alone is becoming a quiet disruption. Your sister may avoid your gaze or become agitated in your silence. This is because your divine alignment acts as a mirror. A person living in a secret cannot stand the presence of a person living in the truth. Your clarity is an unintended interrogation. You don't have to say, "I know." Your eyes already said it. Your lack of participation in the games of denial already said it. You are becoming a person of resonance, and her misalignment cannot harmonize with your frequency. The shadows are not being attacked. They are simply being displaced by the sheer density of your presence. You are not a weapon, you are simply light. As we move deeper, understand that exposure is a mercy. If the architect allowed the misalignment to continue in secret, the entire structure of your lineage would eventually suffer a catastrophic failure. By bringing the hidden actions to your light, God is allowing the pressure to be released in a controlled environment. You are that environment. Your ability to hold this truth without shattering is what allows the healing to begin. You are the witness that truth exists, even when it is uncomfortable. You are the proof that a person can see the darkness and not be consumed by it. Your existence is the evidence of a higher order. Chosen one, stay in your precision. Do not let the drama pull you into a horizontal battle. Keep your eyes on the blueprint. You are being prepared for a future that requires a soul that cannot be manipulated by shadows. This moment of seeing her for who she truly is without the mask is the final piece of your current calibration. You are seeing the raw material of your environment. Now that you know exactly what you are working with, you can finally stop guessing. The warning has been heard. The misalignment has been identified. You are now ready to move from seeing into the stewardship of your own power. Chosen one, you have reached the point of no return. You cannot unsee the misalignment. Now comes the discipline of stewardship. You have transitioned from a spectator to a steward. You can no longer afford the luxury of a reaction. Reaction is the language of those who are still surprised by the dark. But you are an anointed one. You have been briefed by the architect. When you see your sister's secret actions now, your heartbeat must remain steady. If your pulse quickens in anger, or your mind races with the need to expose her, you are experiencing a leak in your internal pressure. This is a sign that your structure is still porous. You are being called to a higher emotional economy, where your peace is treated as a finite, high-value asset that cannot be spent on someone else's chaos. Stewardship is the art of managing what you have seen without letting it distort who you are. The world tells you that the truth will set you free, but they often forget to mention that the truth is also heavy. You are carrying the weight of her deception, and the temptation is to drop that weight onto her head through a dramatic confrontation. But the architect is training you in the discipline of non-participation. Think of your energy as a high-voltage grid. Your sister is currently a short circuit. If you plug your emotions into her drama, you will blow your own fuses. Stewardship means acknowledging that while you share a lineage, you do not share a destiny. You are the manager of your internal space, and you are no longer authorized to fund her illusions with your attention. This is a quiet disruption. By refusing to participate in the normalcy she is performing, you are actually dismantling the lie more effectively than any shout could. Deception requires an audience that is willing to be deceived, or at least an audience that is willing to argue. When you stop arguing and start observing, the game changes. You are withdrawing the currency of your engagement. In the emotional economy of a family, silence that is rooted in clarity is the most expensive thing you can give. It's the sound of a pillar that has decided to stop leaning. When you sit in the room with her and you don't take the bait of her defensiveness, you are signaling to the spirit realm that you have graduated from being a sibling to being a pillar. You might feel a sense of guilt for this coldness. Do not mistake sobriety for a lack of love. To love someone in the way the architect loves is to want their alignment more than their comfort. By refusing to react to her secret actions, you are allowing the natural consequences of her choices to find her. If you intervene too early with your anger, you become the distraction that allows her to avoid her own reflection. Non-participation is a form of spiritual mercy. It is the act of stepping out of the way so that the light can hit the target directly. You are not hiding the truth. You are simply refusing to be the one who weaponizes it. You are staying in your axis, ensuring that your own coherence remains intact. The urgent warning was never about her behavior. It was about your stewardship. The architect was warning you not to spend your upgrade on a horizontal battle. You have been given precision sensors so you can navigate the storm, not so you can try to stop the wind. Your sister's actions are the wind. Your internal structure is the ship. If you spend all your time shouting at the wind, you will lose your grip on the wheel. This season of transformation requires you to be ruthless with your focus. You must learn to look at the secret, acknowledge its presence, and then turn your back on it to continue building your own structure. This is the mark of a master builder, the ability to work in a compromised environment without becoming compromised yourself. Anointed One, observe the shift in your own body as you embrace this. There is a specific kind of strength that arrives when you stop trying to fix the unfixable. It feels like a cooling of the blood. It is the arrival of stability. You are no longer waiting for her to change so you can be at peace. You are at peace because you have decided that her misalignment is not your architect. Your peace is now sourced from your coherence with the architect. This is the ultimate form of power, to be in the presence of a lie and to remain a person of truth without needing the liar to admit their fault. You are becoming a person of such density that the shadows around you simply have nowhere to hide. As we close this movement of stewardship, realize that you are being prepared for a massive release of energy. The architect does not give a person this much discipline unless the next phase requires absolute precision. You are learning to hold the pressure so that when the time comes to speak, your words are not a reaction, but a revelation. But that time is not now. Now is the time for the quiet disruption. Now is the time to manage your assets. Now is the time to stand in the room, see the secret, and keep your pulse at rest. You are holding the line. You are the steward of the light, and the light does not need to shout to be heard. Chosen One, we are now entering the horizon of your future. The architect does not reward the discipline of the past with shallow comfort or the sudden disappearance of conflict. Instead, the reward for your endurance is capacity. In the spiritual physics of your new life, capacity is the volume of reality you are able to hold without leaking your peace. You have watched your sister's secret actions and maintained your axis. Therefore, you have proven that your internal structure can support a higher level of gravity. Gravity is the weight of influence that a soul carries when it is no longer seeking validation from its environment. You are no longer a satellite orbiting the chaos of your family. You are becoming the sun around which their truth must eventually revolve. This increase in gravity is a silent phenomenon. You will notice that people, not just your sister, but colleagues, strangers, and distant relatives, begin to treat your presence with a different kind of respect. They may not have the language for it, but they sense that you are heavy. In architectural terms, you have moved from being a partition wall to a core pillar. Because you have the capacity to hold the truth of her deception without being destroyed by it, heaven is now authorizing you to hold even larger blueprints. You are being prepared for responsibilities that require a soul that cannot be manipulated by the fear of being disliked. The architect is adding weight to your spirit so that you can anchor others when the inevitable storms of life arrive. Notice that this capacity also changes your relationship with time. You are no longer in a hurry for the big reveal or the public apology from your sister. When you carry this much internal weight, your urgency evaporates. You understand that a structure this solid does not need to rush its own manifestation. You have developed the long sight of a master builder. You can look at the misalignment in your sister's life and see the eventual collapse long before it happens, and you can wait for it with a heart of sobriety. This is not coldness, it is the maturity of a soul that has aligned its timing with the architect. You are no longer chasing the future. You are standing in such a way that the future is being pulled toward you by the force of your own stability. Anointed One, do not be surprised if your sister's behavior becomes more erratic as your gravity increases. When a pillar becomes solid, it exerts a pull on everything around it. If she is living in a secret, your solidity feels like a threat to her illusion. She may try to pull you back into the old horizontal games to see if you will still flinch. She is testing your density. This is a critical moment in your soul calibration. Every time you refuse to be pulled out of your center, your internal gravity doubles. You are proving that your peace is not a fragile thing that depends on her honesty, but a structural reality that depends on your own coherence with God. The architect uses the friction of your current environment to cure your capacity. Think of the way high-pressure environments create diamonds from carbon. The secret actions of those around you provided the pressure necessary to compress your character into something indestructible. You thought you were being buried, but you were being compressed into a version of yourself that can handle the atmosphere of high-level destiny. This is why the urgent warning was so vital. If you had reacted with the old, porous parts of your soul, you would have leaked the pressure and remained soft. But because you stayed in the containment, you have attained a resonance that can now withstand the weight of the crown. In this new season, your stance is your primary contribution. You don't need to do more, you simply need to be more. The architect is shifting your focus from action to presence. Your sister's secrets will eventually collide with the wall of your reality. You don't have to seek out the truth. The truth is attracted to a vacuum of drama. Because you have removed the drama from your side of the equation, you have created a spiritual vacuum that the truth must fill. This is the law of resonance. A soul that is empty of lies becomes a magnet for the revelation. You will find that secrets are whispered to you by the environment itself, not because you are looking for them, but because they have nowhere else to go but toward the light. As your capacity expands, you will feel a new kind of stillness. It is the stillness of a deep ocean. The surface may be choppy, and the winds of family opinion may howl, but at your depth there is absolute silence. You are inhabiting the in-between, the space where you are no longer who you were, but you are not yet fully visible in who you are becoming. This is a sacred weight. You are letting the gravity of your new structure settle into the earth. You are letting the architect finish the final inspections of your heart. You have passed the test of the secret. Now you are being prepared for the weight of the public light. Chosen. 1. Breathe into this weight. It is not a burden. It is your power. You are no longer a victim of what she is doing in secret. You are the guardian of the truth that will eventually set the entire house in order. The warning has served its purpose. It has alerted you, aligned you, and increased your capacity. You are now a person of such gravity that you can afford to be patient. You can afford to be kind. You can afford to wait. The future is no longer a question. It is an appointment that you are already on time for. Chosen one. The discipline you have maintained while witnessing the misalignment of your sister has fundamentally altered your spiritual physics. You have moved beyond the need for immediate justice or external validation. You are now entering the phase of capacity. This is the reward the architect gives to those who refuse to leak their peace in the face of deception. Capacity is not a gift. It is a structural achievement. It is the volume of truth your soul can now contain without fracturing. Because you did not shatter when you saw what she was doing in secret, your internal volume has expanded to hold a reality that would crush a lesser structure. You are no longer a porous container. This expansion of capacity brings with it a new force, gravity. In the architectural design of your life, gravity is the weight of your presence. You have spent so much time standing still in the truth that you have developed a spiritual density that influences the room without you saying a word. You are no longer a satellite orbiting the drama of your family. You are becoming the sun around which their truth must eventually revolve. This is the quiet disruption evolving into a permanent state of being. You will notice that people now hesitate before lying to you. They sense that your axis is too heavy to be moved by their performance. They feel your weight. Your sister's secret actions were the friction used to cure your character. Just as carbon is compressed into diamond under extreme pressure, your soul was compressed by the weight of knowing the truth in a room full of shadows. The architect allowed that pressure so you would develop the stability required for the next chapter. You are being prepared for a future where you will be asked to anchor entire systems. Heaven does not give such responsibility to those who are easily swayed by the opinions or secrets of others. It gives it to those whose gravity is absolute. You are becoming a person that reality can finally lean on. As your gravity increases, you will notice a change in your resonance. You are no longer vibrating at the frequency of family conflict. You are vibrating at the frequency of the blueprint. This means that anything in your environment that is structurally unsound, like your sister's hidden choices, will begin to vibrate and crack in your presence. You don't have to seek out her secrets or confront her with accusations. Your mere existence as a person of truth acts as a vibration that forces misalignment to reveal itself. This is the spiritual law of coherence. Light does not need to attack the darkness. It simply occupies the space. You are the light. Your stance is now your most powerful asset. It is the physical and spiritual manifestation of everything you have learned in the shadows. You are standing in a way that allows the future to meet you without force. You are no longer chasing your destiny. You are letting the gravity of your stability pull it toward you. The architect is pleased with your density. You have proven that you can hold the weight of a secret without letting it become your identity. You have integrated the pain into a posture of authority. You are steady, you are clear, you are held. The structure is no longer a project. It is the house you inhabit. You have finally come home to yourself. You are ready. Chosen one. As the gravity we discussed settles into your bones, you are discovering a new and formidable quality, stability, in the face of absolute uncertainty. For years, you lived in a state of bracing, constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the secrets of your family to finally shatter the peace. But now, as you stand in the wreckage of what you once thought was true, you find that you are no longer shaking. You have become a pillar. A pillar does not ask the storm to stop. It simply holds the roof. This is the stage of your journey where your internal structure is no longer a project under construction, but a completed sanctuary. You have watched your sister's hidden world begin to fray at the edges, yet your own axis remains perfectly vertical and unmoved. This stability is the foundation of generational healing. We often speak of healing as a soft emotional event, but in the hands of the architect, it is a structural demolition. By choosing to stay present with the hard truth of your sister's secret actions, you have stopped the flow of a generational lie. You are the point in the lineage where the deception ends. The hidden transactions, the double lives, and the calculated silences that defined those before you have met a wall they cannot penetrate. You are the barrier. This is why the urgent warning was so critical. It was the architect's way of ensuring the infection of secrecy did not pass through you to the future. You are the filter that has finally turned the water clear for those who come after you. You are now operating at a level of resonance that demands coherence from everyone who enters your space. You may have noticed that conversations with your sister have become shorter, or perhaps she avoids your presence altogether. This is the natural sorting of frequencies. When a pillar is established, anything that is not structurally sound begins to feel the pressure of its own instability. You do not need to hunt for the truth anymore. Your stability forces it to the surface. Your sister's secrets are being displaced by the sheer density of your honesty. This is not an attack on her. It is the inevitable consequence of a structure that has finally found its axis. You are the frequency of the future, and anything rooted in the past must either align or depart from your immediate vicinity. Anointed One, do not be unsettled by the silence that often follows this kind of transformation. When you become a pillar, you lose the chatter of the old life. The drama, the gossip, and the endless cycles of family fixing no longer have a place in your economy. This can feel like a lonely victory, but it is actually the arrival of precision. The architect is clearing the room so that you can hear the next set of instructions without the interference of static. You are in the in-between, the space where the old house has been condemned, but the new structure has not yet been inhabited by the world. This is where your coherence is most vital. You are standing firm, not because you see a reward on the horizon, but because you have finally become the kind of person who cannot do otherwise. The architect has moved you from the reaction phase into the stance phase. In this stance, your peace is no longer a fragile commodity that you have to protect. It has become an atmosphere that you carry. You can look at your sister with a heart of sobriety, recognizing that her journey is hers to walk, while knowing that her choices can no longer reach the core of your structure. This is true stability. It is the ability to be compassionate without being compromised by the chaos. You're no longer trying to save her from herself because you realize that the architect is the one who handles the demolition. Your only job is to remain a visible witness to what is possible when a soul chooses to stay in the light. Your future is not a destination you are traveling toward. It is a resonance you are currently inhabiting. You have successfully integrated the pain of betrayal and the fatigue of awareness into a posture of quiet authority. You are no longer bracing for the world to change so you can feel safe. You are the safety. As the secrets of your bloodline continue to dissolve in the presence of your clarity, remember that you were built for this. Every silent night and every heavy realization was a curing agent for the stability you now possess. You are the restorer of paths. You are the ending of cycles. Stand firm. Alignment complete. Chosen One, you have successfully crossed the bridge between illusion and clarity. You began this journey looking for a warning about a sister, a secret, and a hidden betrayal, but you are leaving with something far more valuable, the keys to your own internal sanctuary. The architect did not lead you through this depth to make you a detective of other people's shadows. He led you here to show you that your structure is now capable of surviving the truth without losing its pulse. You have integrated the weight of what you saw in the dark into a posture of dignity. You are no longer a victim of your history. You are the master of your placement. Your sister is no longer a threat to your peace because you have finally realized that your peace was never hers to manage. This is the realization of the stance. A stance is not a temporary defensive position. It is a permanent spiritual signature. You have spent years bracing for the impact of deception, but today that bracing ends. The architect has completed the curing process of your soul, and the walls are finally dry. You are now a person who can sit in the same room as a secret and not be contaminated by its frequency. Your sister may choose to awaken, or she may choose to remain in the fog, but her choice no longer dictates your atmosphere. You have released her to the architect. By doing so, you have broken the final link of the chain that once bound your destiny to her misalignment. Anointed One, do not look for a dramatic finish or a loud announcement to mark this completion. The most important works of the architect are always completed in the quiet. There is no ribbon-cutting ceremony for a soul that has finally found its center. There is only a sudden, profound realization that you are no longer running. You are no longer trying to prove your worth or defend your sight to those who choose to be blind. You have reached a state of presence where your silence carries more weight than your words ever did. You are steady. You are clear. You are held. The internal structure is no longer a project you are working on. It is the house you inhabit. This is the legacy of the bloodline breaker. Because you had the courage to look at the hidden actions and not look away, you have cleared the air for every generation that follows you. The secrets of your lineage have met their end in the density of your character. You have done the work that your ancestors could not finish. You have stayed in the fire until the gold was pure. Now you can walk forward with a light that does not flicker when the wind blows. Your life is no longer a question to be answered. It is a witness to be observed. You have become a human bridge between the blueprints of heaven and the reality of earth. The architect is now moving the furniture of your life to match the quality of your new structure. You don't need to chase the rewards. You only need to remain in your alignment. Opportunities, connections and peace will find their way to you because they are attracted to your frequency. You are no longer a person of reaction, but a person of resonance. When you wake up tomorrow, you will not feel the dread of the secret. You will feel the gravity of your own authority. You are exactly who the architect created you to be: a pillar, a guardian, and a soul that truth can finally trust. The warning has been fulfilled, and the transformation is complete. Before we depart from this sacred moment, I invite you to acknowledge the space you have built. If this journey into the depth has located you, if you recognize the house we have described as your own, then this moment is a witnessing. You're invited to leave a physical mark of this recognition below. A single word like stance, a number that resonates with your spirit, or a simple signal that you are present and aligned. Let it be a seal upon the reality you are now inhabiting. It is a quiet declaration that you have accepted your role and that you are ready to hold the line. We are not building a crowd here. We are gathering the steady. If you feel a resonance with this way of moving, you are welcome to remain connected with us. There is no urgency in this invitation, and there is no pressure to belong. Alignment always recognizes itself. You will know when to return. For now, simply breathe into the stability you have earned. The fog has cleared, the work is done, and the foundation is set. Stand firm, Anointed One. The architect is pleased. The stance is held, and you are finally home.